if even if they know that they will never able to get a healthy relationship with a girl, they will never able to get a girlfriend, so they are not emotionally stressed about it. So hey guys, hope you're doing good. I'm doing good too. In this video I will talk about the software issues and hardware issues in personality. So I'm a IT guy and I love computer PC, building PC. So this software and hardware, I'm taking it from the computers. Like the software issues, for example, you have a corrupted window, or you have a software problem, then you can reinstall the software or reinstall the windows and everything is going good. But if you have a hardware problem, some hardware is failure, hardware has the problem, RAM has the issue, then you cannot solve it so easily. You have to change the hardware.
Deepak, the most proven dating coach in the world.
One important thing I want to make it very, very clear, that I understand my responsibility, and the people or my students or my clients who I meet them in real life, or I talk to them on phone or on Skype, I don't give them any label. What I mean by this is that I don't tell them you are autist or you are narcissist or you are toxic person. I don't tell them these things. I don't label them. Why? Because my goal is to make them happy, to give them result, to get them laid, to get them girlfriend. And if somebody is giving other person a label that you are autist or you are narcissist or you are toxic person, then what can happen? The person who is getting that label like autist or narcissist, that label can become this person's reality, and this can affect that person in a very negative way. For example, if somebody is having autistic symptoms or narcissistic symptoms, then it helps me in understanding that person much better, and then I can make a solution according to that person that helps to get him results. If I label that person, then it is not going to help him in any way. That's why I don't label these person that you are this or you are that, but their behavior helps me in understanding that person much better, much clear, and then I can give them much efficient solution for their problem. After teaching so many guys in as a dating coach, bringing so many guys success, then I have seen guys three type of guys they are coming. One guy is coming in having software issues. Some guys are having hardware issues, and some guys are having a mix of software and hardware. So these are the three type of guys I meet them. Here I'm not talking about the looks, other aspect. I'm just talking about the personality here. So you can be white guy, you can be black guy, you can be brown guy, you can be Asian guy, any guy you can be. But these kind of personality problem you may be facing. It's the common personality problem you may be facing. So it has nothing to do with race at all. So what are the software issues? For example, if a guy is coming coming to me, and he's facing confidence problem, and he has no experience with girls in the past. He's not confident. He's a bit nervous. He don't know how to seduce girls. So how to seduce girls? He has a fairly fine childhood. Or the past is not making him anti-social personality, or toxic guy. So everything is fine. He just lack confidence with the girls because maybe he was just studying, or working in the career. For example, one example, it can be simple. Some guy is coming from India and IT job, and then come to USA, career, success and everything. So there is not too much of kind of problem, in the sense in the past he was facing getting success, and now getting girls criteria in West is completely changed, because it's not the money, it's the personality, and he don't have the personality to get this girl. So now he have that software kind of issue, software problem he's facing, because he don't know how to seduce girls, how to get girls. He don't have that confidence. He has confidence in his job but not with the girls. So these are like, software problem the guys get, which is which is fairly easy to solve, which is, I will not say easy, depends on your level and depends on your commitment. It can be solved, but it do takes time. You have to, like, for example, if you don't know how to seduce girls, if you don't know game, then it's a software problem, and you learn like the game steps, you learn how to talk and everything, and you solve this issue and you get the result. Now it depends on, like, the your level, like, and how good you can move forward, how quick you can learn the game, how quickly you can gather reference experience. You can, like, get successful in this thing. So now the bigger problem, what is, like, the guys who are having software issues, these things can be solved. But they are the guys who are having hardware issues. These problems are much more, like, tough to solve, and here we have to do a workaround. We have to do a workaround. We have to make some compromises in when the guys are facing some hardware issues, hardware problem. So, for example, like, one of the hardware issue can be, like, these kind of hardware issues can affect you in getting laid, but majority of the times these hardware issue will definitely affect you in going in a relationship. Majority of the time they will affect you in relationship. When you want to pair bound with someone, then these hardware issue will create a lot of problem, and you will not able to get into, like, not able to make a, like, successful relationship. You cannot able to make a girlfriend or something like that. And these hardware issue will also help, will also create problem in getting you laid in the first place, also in, like, talking to girls and all the stuff. So some of the hardware issues can be, like, for example, if you are, one of the hardware issue that can be, if you are emotionally disconnect. When you are emotionally disconnect, so what it means is that, like, you are not able to feel the emotions. When I use the word emotionally disconnected, then it means that the person is not feeling emotion, he is not connected to his emotions. Maybe he is feeling emotion, but the emotion are delayed, so he is feeling delayed emotions. He don't know how to express his emotions. For example, in some autism cases, the person is feeling delayed emotion. He do have emotion, but he is feeling delayed emotion, or he don't know how to express their emotion. In simple words, an emotionally disconnected person is not having normal emotions like a normal emotional healthy person. So in one way it is really good, actually, because when you're not able to feel the emotions, then sometimes you don't able to feel the emotion of sadness as well as happiness, as well as tiredness, or as well as emotional stress. So these kind of people will be like working like a machine, tuck, 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 like a machine gun. They just work. They just don't get tired. So they just don't get tired because they don't feel that emotion of tiredness. They're not feeling that emotion of tiredness, but I see it as a hardware issue, because when they are about to connect with other person, they will not able to feel that other person emotion, and it is very tough for them to connect with other person. It is very tough to connect with other person. So these kind of people, they come to me, and they have this kind of problem, and it is tough but I did give them results. I did give them solutions, results, and everything. We have to do some work around. We have to do some compromise. But one thing, good thing about is that what good thing about these guys is that even if they are not getting that much success, they don't that emotional down, don't feel that emotion. They just keep on going on, going on, going on, keep on gaming, keep on like grinding, and eventually with hard grind they can get success in that thing. So so that's a good thing about them. But at the same time they face problem in like understanding other person emotion. uh, they they're not able to understand the other person emotion, because they don't feel that emotion, like in them also. If you're not feeling, if you never feel that emotion of in yourself, then you will not able to experience how the other person is feeling that emotion. And that's why it will be very tough for them to go in a relationship. So many guys they come to me, they have this issue, and also this hardware problem will also can create problem. This hardware issue can create problem in playing the game, because in sometimes you have to respond to the girl when the girl is girl you have to escalate at the right time, and you cannot find the right time because you cannot able to feel what the other girl is feeling. It's very tough for you to feel, and that's why it is very hard to you don't know what is the right time to escalate. So this is a hardware issue, like not emotionally connected, not feeling the other person emotion, not feeling connected to your emotions. So that's a hardware issue. And in this video I'm not talking about the workaround, what you have to do it. Now the other hardware issue is what the people have is is narcissism. Narcissism, like what we say, everybody has a narcissism. I mean, narcissism is right now these days is good to get success. Narcissistic personality is good to have success. If you have narcissism, but what these people have is narcissistic personality without no empathy. If you have a narcissistic traits but you have a high empathy, then it's fine, because you know how the other person is feeling and you empathize with that person, and it's fine. But if some guys come who are having this narcissistic traits, but they have no empathy for others, they just don't have empathy for others, they never learn to have that empathy for others. So this is also a big hardware issue. Also it can create problem in relationship. It can create a big problem in relationship, because you will never able to feel the emotion what the other person is feeling in a relationship. And this kind of people I have dealt in my life, in my business life, in my personal life, and in my as my students, also many students. So these kind of people, that's a narcissistic personality with no empathy. That's a it's a big hardware issue. It's a big hardware issue. Like the guys can have, if they are narcissistic and they have no empathy for other person, then it can create lot of problem in game. Also in some situation, because of that narcissistic behavior, you can get the girl, but now it will be, you will not able to get a relationship, because it will be too kind of toxic, and you will not able to feel what the girl is feeling. And one thing is also, if you are a narcissistic guy and already really good with girls, then you are not watching this video. You are already having lot of girls, you just having a life. You met the girl, you sleep with the girl, you don't care about her emotions, you move forward. But I'm just talking about the student who are coming to me who are narcissistic, but they are not good with girls. Maybe it's because of looks, maybe because of they don't have that kind of charisma, maybe something is missing. So these kind of, with the narcissism, then that can create problem because they don't able to feel, they cannot empathize with the girl, they don't able to feel what the girl is feeling, that emotion. So this what we say, this is narcissism, is also a hardware issue. Narcissism with no empathy, always narcissistic personality with no empathy is a big hardware issue. Also, again, I'm not talking about like the solutions for it, but this is a big hardware issue. For me, for my personal example, like I came from the childhood. I don't want to talk about my childhood now, like right now on this channel. So I was quite like, what we say, I have always that inferiority complex and always like thinking about what other people think about me and all the stuff. So when I learned the game, I learned to be like, you have to feel you are God, you are like, boss, you are narcissistic, you are this and that. So I ingrained that behavior in me, that narcissistic behavior when I'm talking to girls. But at the same time, when my natural mode, my nature personality is very empathic personality. So if you are a guy like, who has a not low self-esteem, who is not good with girls, but who is not feeling very confident with the girls, so he can develop this trait of narcissism, by this affirmation, by like believing it like he is the boss, he is the best. But because of empathy, because if he has a good empathy, he can balance it. He can always read other person emotion. He can always feel what other person feeling, then it will be balanced. And when he has empathy, it's really good. It will balance, like, this trait. For me, the same thing. I developed this narcissism, like, this confidence when I'm talking to girls. But when at the same time, when the girl feel what she's feeling, how she's feeling, I can really feel it with my friends. I can really feel, I can empathize about, like, what is happening in their life, in the girl life. So it is balanced in me. So again, I came from the software issue, and I developed that narcissism in me because of, like, I need to show that I'm confident, I'm the boss. But I balance that narcissism with the empathy, with high empathy I have, high guilt conscious I have, high empathy I have. I balanced it with the guys who are coming with high narcissism in the game, and now they have this kind of no empathy. That's a big hardware issue. So you understand, if you are not getting results and if you're not getting girls and you are already a narcissistic person, and you also don't have any empathy, that's a big hardware issue also. So these kind of guys also come to me, and there are also workaround to solve this problem. What are the other hardware issues we have? The other hardware issues is, like, you are just I have met some guys who are very antisocial kind of personality, very antisocial, like socially retarded guys completely. They cannot behave properly in a social environment, very toxic personality, like very, very toxic. You just, like, cannot hang around with them. You cannot introduce them to your friends. So these guys come, like, who just came from sitting in the mom basement all the time, like, and then they saw dating coach, or they saw like pickup video, and they come and, like, want to get laid or something like that. So these are, like, guys, they develop these hardware issues because of the past, the situation, the upbringing. Some of the hardware issues people can get because of its genetic, like you don't feel emotions, you have autism, something like that. It can be genetical, but some of the hardware issues, majority of the hardware issues you develop because of the upbringing, the way your past was. I give you an example of a very like tough example. Guy with a hardware issue who came to me, and he was like, he was not having that much of looks, age, ethnicity advantage. And because sometimes the guys who are having these hardware issues, narcissistic guys or some other kind of issue who don't feel emotions, kind of thing, emotional disconnected guy, narcissistic guys, if they are having some other really good kind of thing, for example, if the guy is very rich, then he can still get laid. Or if the guy is very good looking, like narcissistic, very good looking, charismatic, he can get laid, and he don't really need that kind of like, he can get late, but and girl leave, then he can get another girl, then girl leave, then he can get another girl, and he leave the girl, or girl will leave him, no connection, and something like that. If the guy is very rich, for example, then girl is with him because of the money, but not because of that he's developing, having that connection and everything, emotional connection. Girl is with him because of the money part. So there is these things may work, even with the guys with these kind of issues may work. But now when the guys are coming to the dating coach, when the guys are coming, so then it means that they are not having these kind of luxury, like good looks or like money part or status part, they're not having. So there are some normal guys with these kind of traits, and they are not getting results. So this videos I'm making, like, the type of guys I have faced and type of the issues, like, these like, these guys are facing. So these are the issues, like, the guys may have faced. And sometimes like, some guys come with the overlap of these issues, that he has no game, he's not confident, and he's also having this hardware problem, something like that. Or he has also software problem as well as hardware problem. So the software problem can be solved with the practice and everything, with the, like, proper knowledge of game. But some of the like issues, the hardware problem, which is very, very tough to solve, then you can only do the work around, like I told you, like, the toxic personality, for example. There are like some toxic guys, highly toxic guys. I have met some highly toxic guys, that these guys, honestly, like, these guys are not going to get any relationship. Like, these are the incels. These guys are incels. And some guys, like, like it's a hard truth, it's a tough truth, but some guy will never have a relationship. They are not going to have a relationship because they are highly toxic. They have like this high narcissism, very toxic, very manipulative, and blaming other people. So all the hardware issues they are facing, and they are just not going to, like, they are, you cannot introduce these people to your friends, to anyone. One time, one of my client came to me and he said, like, if I can get the girlfriend, and I said, like, you have a, like, your problems are not related to game at all. Your game part is, you cannot play the game because you don't feel other person emotion. The problem is that, like, you are like a robot. You are like a robot. You don't know, like, if you don't know what the girl is feeling. You don't get it, how the girl is feeling. So what is happening, if the girl is feeling that this is not the right time to escalate, and oh, it's after 7 minutes you have to escalate, and you escalate, and she can creep out. So I literally saw you in the end, like, talking to the girl, and then out of the blue you say the line what I say, but that was not the appropriate time. So you don't know, you cannot learn the timing. That's the only one thing. The other problem you will be facing is also, you are you will blame other people. So you don't feel emotions. I try to teach you how to connect, but you don't know how to connect. It's just impossible to teach you how to connect. So the maximum what can happen, maybe you he was also toxic. He was all the antisocial personality traits he had. And I just like these are like 0.11, like 0.001% of the guys. Because I come as a minority dating coach, and a lot of tough clients come to me. So they are like type of guys, like what we say, incel communities. I will talk about them in future. So the incel communities, lot of guys like these, like they have. And there are like only work around, because unless they literally, unless the problem is not a genetic. If the problem is genetic problem, uh, genetic problem cannot be solved. In my, I think, if you like for example, if you are a psychopath, you have a psychopathic genes that you cannot feel emotion, and it's a genetic. There are some genetic issues. For example, if somebody is a, from the parents he got like autism, or he has a psychopathic genes that he cannot feel any emotion. He cannot just feel that that part is completely dead, kind of thing. So then he can only do the workaround. Because a normal emotional person cannot connect, because the other person, he don't know. The person who has this problem of not connecting with the other person emotion, he don't know how to connect. And if a normal emotional person, a normal emotional girl is trying to connect, he just don't know. He don't know how to connect. If it is not a genetical issues, it is because of the upbringing, because of the environment you are upbringing, that then it can be solved. If you accept this as your problem, then it can be solved. Because sometimes one like hardware issue, that when you don't feel empathy for other person, when you don't feel emotion or empathy, it can happen that you suppress that part. In your upbringing, because you have to be that kind of like strong personality. You don't want to show your emotions, you don't want to feel empathy, you want to be that hardcore kind of guy, who's just like rough hardcore guy or girl, who just move on, and then that you just shut down that empathy for other person. If you have this kind of like problem, like which is non-genetical problem, based on your environment, then it may solve if you consciously recognize this problem and work on it. It may work for you. But if it is a genetical problem, like you have kind of hardware issue, that is genetical issue, then it's, I don't know, like, that is, it is very tough to solve. Then only thing a dating coach can teach is like the game part. And if you come to me, for example, then there are like workaround can be done, like some workaround, some kind of like we do workaround, because this case is not a normal case. Game is still you can learn, but you can do the workaround. One good thing about like when you are emotionally not feeling other person emotion, it can be like either due to many reasons, hardware issue, like in the game you required to feel other person emotion, or you are empathic. For example, you in time to time you have to have empathy, like if you have empathy, then you can also feel other person emotion. If you don't feel other person emotion because you are a narcissist, or because of you have that kind of like other hardware issue, you are emotionally disconnected, then in some part of the game it can work good for you. For example, when you are escalating the girl in the bedroom and the girl is already into you, then you are not feeling that emotion of fear and you just escalate and you can have sex. When you are taking the girl home, for example, when you're taking the girl home, then you're not feeling, your heart is not beating thug, 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 thug. Like for example, whenever, still now when I'm taking the girl home, my heart is like, beating even after this much experience, that like, because she can say no. So in that situation, if you are like emotionally disconnected or like kind of narcissistic personality who don't have empathy for other person, then you don't feel that kind of like emotional thrill taking the girl, and you can easily like execute these kind of steps. Now the problem you will be facing is bringing the executing the emotional part in the game, like how you, when you're escalating, when you're talking to girl, when you're emotionally and connecting to the girl, there you will facing like problems, and if somebody told me which are easier to do, which person is easier to teach, emotionally connected or disconnected. So the person who are emotionally connected, they are much easier to teach. It is they because they are they because all the problem it can be solved. The emotionally disconnected person, it is slightly tough to teach. I teach them also, but we have to work hard on like them. The biggest problem like I have seen with these guys, like when it comes to like when they are trying to connect with the girl in some situation in the mid part of the game, when you are one-on-one talking with the girl trying to connect, there they are facing problem a lot in that kind of connection. So I hope I have made this understandable video, and maybe I will make another video if it is still not clear to you. Maybe I'll make another video, because this type of video I love to make, but sometimes it's a more like a psychological kind of stuff, more like beyond game related kind of stuff. So maybe I need some experience in formulating my words and my like what I want to say. Need some experience. It's a new thing, but I love to talk about it. A lot of things what I have experienced in teaching students, I love to discuss. So you see a different side of me, like doing this hardcore infield, and I'm talking about like these kind of stuff, but this is who I am. So yeah, like software issue, hardware issues. Software issue can be solved, like personality, lot of things can be solved, nervousness, less confidence can be solved, but it's not like you can solve them easily. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to solve the software issues, but if you have hardware issues, then it can benefit you in some small part. It can benefit you, but it may also be very disastrous. And if you have a lot of hardware issues, then it can be quite disastrous. One good thing about like the guys who have like some lot of like extreme hardware issues, for example, like they don't feel any emotion. It can be like genetics, like it's in genetics, they cannot like feel that emotion. That part is dead, emotional part is dead. So they don't also feel the emotion of pain that strong. They don't feel the emotion of happiness that strong. They don't feel the emotion of sadness that strong. And they don't feel the emotion of like tiredness and all these things. They can strong. So they can be really good in like like analytical job or doing some hard work. And some guys like can do lot of work, and I get amazed sometimes that they cannot get tired, because they don't feel the emotion of tired. So these guys, for example, if like some guys, like if even if they know that they will never able to get a like healthy relationship with a girl, they will never able to get a girlfriend, so they are not emotionally stressed about it. because that emotion, they don't feel that emotion of stress or happiness or sadness. They're not that stressed about it. It's okay for them. So world is not that bad actually, like for these guys. They are still like, many of these guys are still fine with it, but there are some guys who still don't fall in that category, and they are very sad, and lot of hardware issues they have. They don't want to change. They blame other people, the society, and like the other people for their problem, and these are like that, and they suffers a lot in their life also. I give you one example of this hardware issue. I will not use the name of that person again. Like, in Berlin here, I was teaching a guy, and I put like, lot of work in improving his skills, and he was like a friend in the sense. So I put a lot of hard work in like, improving his dating skills, and I bring him actually success. Actually, I bring him success, but he like, because of his mistakes, it didn't work out. And then like, he was blaming me that my game is bad, my game is bad, my game is bad, instead of like, working on the problems he is facing. Like, my game is bad, I'm teaching bad game, something like that. So he was blaming me, whereas actually he was my friend. I was not getting paid for anything from him. I was not getting paid by him. He was also jobless. He's not paying me anything. I just wanted to voluntarily help him, and he was blaming me, like, my game was bad. Then like, I said, but I'm the guy who don't give up so easily. So I said, my other friends, like, we try to take him to social gathering, and maybe like, he will gather, like, meet with other person and all. It may, like, he will find some friends. Now the problem was, when we were taking him like to the like social gathering, he was very antisocial, and like he was like literally very antisocial kind of guy. And next time my other friend was telling me that, like, all his friends told him, please don't bring that guy, that antisocial guy, to the family, we don't want him. So he was very antisocial guy. He was blaming other people for his problem. He was also not successful in his life, in his work life also. And also I told him, like, okay, game is there, but we can improve the odds by, like, go to gym, for example. We can lift some weight, go to gym, build some muscles. That will also help. And now he said, like, he don't want to go to gym, he don't want to build muscles, because then it is because of his looks. He is getting girls. It means that my game is very weak. I cannot girls, like, I like, I cannot bring him results based on my game. He didn't understand that, like, we have to get results, and maybe he's lacking some other area in his like personality, and that's why we improve the looks, so that we can compensate. You understand the software and hardware issues. If you have a big hardware issues, and you have, like, okay, you have hardware issue, how we can compensate? Maybe we improve the looks part, but there is a like limit to the improving the looks part. So in this guy case, there was room to improve, because he was a German guy, and there was also, like, not a bad looking German guy, skinny German guy, I will say, like skinny German guy. So there was a room to improve his looks, like, if we pack some muscles, if we make him some better looking, so maybe the girl will forgive that hardware issue, that kind of like toxic behavior, and maybe the girl will still wanted to stay with him. I don't know how long, but for, like, for few months, maybe, I don't know, for few weeks, something, like, he will be feeling happy with her, and maybe he will try to change his behavior to accommodate with that girl. But he he said like, he will not go to gym, he will just want to learn the game, and he don't want to work also, he want to stay on the social benefits. And like this guy having extreme hardware issue, he was not successful in his financial life, he was also not successful, he don't want to like learn the game properly, and he don't want to do anything outside game. So like this is a like extreme like hardware issue problem. And like in these cases, like dating coach, I'm a guy who don't give up. If you see my other video, watch my other video, that I have very like strong mindset, I don't give up so easily. But in some cases, like even like what should I do? Normally I stick with my students till the very end and help them, really wanted to help and get them success. But in some situation you just let it go, you cannot help them. So normally guy with extreme hardware issues, there you have to sometimes let it go, something like that. But they are very very rare cases. Even the guys with hardware issues, I have bring them results. Depends on the severity of, like, we have to do some workaround in some cases. I give you an example. There was a guy I was he started coaching with me in 2015, end of 2015. And he was having hardware issue, but at least one thing I noticed, that he is also emotionally disconnect. He is emotionally disconnect, and he just keep on gaming. He don't feel that emotion of that sad or depression or something. He just keep on gaming like a machine. At that time I was never able to understand how he can keep doing it, but he was doing it. Now I understand how he can keep doing it. So he chose me for the next years. I bring him results, I bring him success. He got and everything. There was a time with this guy, I know that because of his other issues, it's going to be very tough for him to get a girlfriend. So with my coaching, he got one time a girlfriend. Actually, he was about to go, being with her in a relationship. They're starting to go in a relationship, and he was like 45 and the girl was quite young. And he told me that he is not feeling that kind of connection or something. Maybe the girl is not that hot or something. So he want to try something else. So I said to him at that time that I will advise you to keep this girl as your girlfriend. Maybe you can do something on the side, because we have already put a lot of time and effort. And my healthy advice is to keep this girl as a girlfriend, but I'm not forcing you. It is at the end you have to make the decision. So he made the decision against it. He let her go. He let her go, and then it was like a long journey. We did lot of work. He did got, but no girlfriend, nothing like that. Because again, there are the hardware issues. The guy was having hardware issues also. And the looks, SMV level looks, other looks, status and all things level, race level, he was not really that great. So plus the hardware issue. Then I'm the person who is not giving up till the very end. So I give what I teach to the extreme. I gave I have some solutions, I'm the guy who just don't give up on anyone. This is who I am. If you see my past, I just don't give up. It just I just don't give up. When I'm coming from Germany, they rejected me. I just still came to Germany. Got 3 times rejected, still came to Germany. So I gave that guy some extreme solutions, and which involve lot of things changing in his life. And in 2000, end of the 2018, he got a girlfriend, like 25, 26-year-old girlfriend, so like almost like a 20-year of difference, like young, good looking girlfriend. I saw her picture, really good looking. For his looks, he was good, she was good looking. And then from after that, like 2019, this year we had also coaching. Then we are more focusing on the relationship part, like how to have that kind of like relationship. He's now 47, 48. So I have told him, like like don't do too much experiment, and like make family with her, because if you let her go, then it's gonna be, it's take, like you have like 47, 48, you're not going to get like younger girl, like because we have to make some compromise. You cannot live that player lifestyle. So make relationship, make girlfriend, or like kids or something like that. And on the side, you can have some fun on the sides. Who cares, like if you just keep it secret, it's all good. So you see, this guy is still in touch with me. In 2020 we had a, like we also trained him. So this guy is like from, you see, 2015, like hardware, like big hardware issues. And this guy did like boot camp with like RSD guys, like mystery in the old days, mystery method on the old days. Lot of guys, he did boot camp. But sometimes you have to think beyond game. Like I'm the guy who think beyond game, who try to solve the like problem which a normal dating coach cannot solve. So that's why, like why I'm able to solve, because of I have this feeling, this want to help them, like genuinely want to help them, because I genuinely feel that emotional pain. Even if this guy who is not feeling that emotional pain, even this guy, for example, who is slightly emotionally disconnected and he's not getting girlfriend, who is not feeling that emotional pain, but I feel from him, because I am emotionally connected and I have a genuine sense of empathy. So I am feeling, even like I can sense that like pain, and I have dealt with these kind of things. So that I put a lot of hard work, and plus my track record of never giving up helped me like in solving this extreme problem. Though there are some situation where it is almost impossible to solve, like problems, like because the guy's like, he just don't want to change, or he's too toxic, it's like too much of multiple hardware issues he's having. So there are some like issues you also have, you may have. So guys, I hope I formulate this video good, make you understand. And I will make, if not, I will make another video about it, make it more clear. I need some experience because it's a bit slightly different kind of content, like like compared to a typical dating coach, like dating tips, how to touch girl, or how to say magical 3 words, blah blah blah. It's not like like in how to escalate or how to say something. So it's a different kind of video, more deeper kind of video. And so that, like maybe I need some experience in this thing. It's a more like a psychological kind of stuff. So but I love to talk about it. So hope you like this content, this kind of content. If you like it, then like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that bell button also. And also write in the comment like what kind of issues you are facing, like and I will read them. I will give, if I get time, I will also respond to them, maybe make another video also about it. And also my product, Dating Mastery, I'm working on it, will be released in few months. So watch that product. And also what? Also take care of yourself, and enjoy your time, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye. Also guys, don't forget to watch the playlist rock solid infields on this channel where I'm doing live flirt, picking up girls in front of camera, showing top level pickup and attraction skills. And also don't forget to watch student transformation and testimonials where how I teach my student, showing full documentaries and student success.